Hello everybody and welcome back to another round of PSVR2 news. It has been a while since I've gone away and come back, and a lot has happened in that time, and I think it's about time we talked about it, is it not? Before we get into this, only 25% of you are subscribed, so please feel free to do so, and thank you to our patrons and members who are all on screen right now. With that being said, let's get straight into it. First and foremost, for the next week or so, the PlayStation Indie sale is on, and in the UK at least there are 77 PSVR2 related items from games to DLC on sale. Some highlights here are Alien Rogue Incursion, Arcane Age Resist, Walkabout Minigolf, Vampire the Masquerade Justice, Propagation Paradise Hotel, Dead Second Gun Club, Sushi Ben The Utility Room, Human Fall Flat VR, Stellaris Go Signal, Windlands 2, Umurangi Generation, and Rainbow Reactor Fusion. These are all games that you should consider, but please go and take a look on the actual sale yourself to see what you want to get. Following on from that, one of the games on sale, Rainbow Reactor Fusion, which I just mentioned, is by Tunamax, and essentially this is a big push for them to get the game on sale and get some support to the studio, because they're currently deciding on whether or not they want to pursue virtual reality and PSVR 2 into the future or not. They'd love to, and I've spoken to the devs in depth about this over the last couple of months. They want to keep on supporting their games, like adding content to 90s extreme skiing and making new games in that vein, but ultimately developing games needs money, and that's why they've done this big sale for Rainbow Reactor Fusion, 80% off and saving 5% more if you've got PS Plus, so it costs you not very much at all, but it is supporting the studio and pushing them a little bit further into creating new content for our beloved headset. If you've got some money to spare and you're willing to give a chance to a game that's very cheap, then please do go and check that one out. Moving on from sale talk, Vendetta Forever got a brand new update. This is the deleted scenes DLC, and I believe it's free for everybody who owns the game, and adds a ton of new levels, again inspired by films like a lot of Vendetta Forever is. This is the super hot style action game that I really loved when it came out, had an interview with the lead developer Xander, and overall just really loved it. So if you got the game, there's some more content free for you. Gran Turismo 7 got a brand new update yesterday, adding 4 new cars to the game, the Ferrari 812 Superfast 2017, the Chevrolet Corvette Z06 2001, the Suzuki Carry KC, and the Honda CR-V EHEV EX Black Edition. God, that's a long name. We're covering this more in depth tomorrow, covering each car that's been added to the game, so I hope you do tune in for that one. Zombie Army VR got a brand new trailer. This seems to be, honestly, a little bit better than I thought, and this honestly looks a lot better than the last couple trailers they put out. I'm cautiously optimistic for this one. I'm hoping to get a key for the game before release so I can cover it for you guys. It's playable both co-op and solo, and if they do well with this, and they could reach out to a lot of flat screen players if it does well, as it is an adaptation of a beloved flat screen franchise. Get Out, A Very Bad Dream Story has been pushed back a little bit, but it's still in May. Now this is a spin-off of Very Bad Dreams. It was quite an ambitious horror game on PSVR 2, it was a very indie horror game on PSVR 2, but despite its issues I still had a decent time with it, and it seems like with Get Out, this spin-off will have a little bit more of a focused vision than the main game, and hopefully will be a bit more polished because of it. But it was originally slated to come out I think on the 12th or something like that, and now it's been pushed back to the end of the month, so not been delayed too far, but just a little bit. Five Nights at Freddy's YouTuber Dorko had an interview with the Secret of the Mimic devs over at Steel Wool, and if you didn't know, this next FNAF game is getting PSVR 2 support. Some people were questioning whether or not it would get it, some people are saying it was still going to get it on release. That is not the case. We have confirmed here the Secret of the Mimic will be getting a VR mode after the initial launch on June 13th. I think this is for the best, means they can polish it up as much as possible and get that fully done for us on PSVR 2 without having to split their resources too much. And we also get to see whether it's a good game at all before the PSVR 2 mode comes out, which I think is another plus. The Midnight Walk is getting an update fairly soon as well to fix the resolution. Now, an update did come out before launch in the creator build of the game to fix the resolution a little bit. It definitely did help, but it's still not one of the best looking games on the headset and could use a bit more work, so I'm glad to see that this is coming along, and hopefully it won't be too long. And hopefully it won't be too much time before it does come to the headset, because the Midnight Walk is just amazing. I absolutely loved it, and if one thing could be changed for me on it, it would be the resolution, because if it got a boost, that would be just fantastic, and hopefully a lot more people would buy it on PSVR 2, but the game seems to have done very well nonetheless on flat, which is great to see. A Badminton VR game has been announced for PSVR 2, which I didn't see coming. This seems to be made by Decathlon, which is kind of crazy if you know that brand, and honestly the maps here look pretty fantastic. It just looks like exactly how you'd expect a badminton game to look. Being able to play with friends with a couple of different modifiers, different customization options, a lot of training, some competitive modes, and if they price this right, I could definitely see it doing pretty well. Although I'm very scared about smacking my ceiling, so we'll see. That's aiming for a release date by the end of the year. If you're on PS Plus Extra or Premium, then you'll have a new PSVR 2 game to play with, added to the service, and this is Help Wanted. Now, Help Wanted is the previous FNAF VR game from Help Wanted 2, and in my opinion, it's the scarier game of the two. It's playable both in flat and VR, so it is a hybrid game, and I'd very much recommend giving it a go if you're a FNAF fan or if you're a horror fan, as there are quite a few spooky moments here, more so than in the flat screen, I would say, as it relies less on jump scares, even though there are still a lot. Overall, that is all the PSVR2 news for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, we'll be covering the new GT7 update tomorrow. I'll be covering a PC VR game the day after that, I think, and then the day after that. If all goes well, I should be doing a video on brand new tips for new players for Ghosts of Tabor, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next one.